Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be why she vanished from your life. Got an email here from a viewer. And this particular guy, I've answered a few emails. He basically, if I remember right, he was in medical school going for his PhD or whatever, and he met this gal, and they became study partners, and they started hanging out, and there was obviously chemistry there. She wasn't very happy with her boyfriend. And he basically totally could have slept with her and had an affair with her, but she's got a boyfriend. And he doesn't really want to get involved in that. And it's always the best thing to be. It's like because there's so many women that are single and available. You just don't get messing around with a chick that's got a boyfriend, because say you fall in love with her and she falls in love with you and she leaves her boyfriend. Well, what happens a couple of years from now when you get busy and you get caught up in your career, your busy life, and you start neglecting and ignoring her the same way her current boyfriend is doing? Well, guess what? She's going to start doing the same shit with you, with the next guy that comes along and she has an emotional connection with. And the thing you got to understand is that if she cheats on him, she'll cheat on you. And so anyways, this girl goes off to Europe with her boyfriend, and then she comes back and they really kind of reconnected again. And so what he basically did is told her that, hey, if it doesn't work out, give me a call. I don't want to get in between this. And so she did that, and then like a few weeks go by, and then she sends him email and texting him saying, you're my soulmate, and I feel like I've lost something, blah, blah, blah. And then he agrees to meet her, but she's still with this particular guy. And then, so it's like in one moment he tells her, I'm not going to get involved, and then a few weeks later, when she tells him, how she's a soulmate and this and that, then he basically starts to go back on his word, which is, hey, if you guys don't work out, give me a call. I'd love to hook up. And then so she texts him or reaches out to him a few weeks later and professes all this stuff for him. And then so he wants to get together and start hanging out, which is exactly what he told her he was not going to do. And then what happens is, so he starts hanging out with her, and then she starts acting all flaky and wishy-washy and just going, just ignore it, what I said. I was just, it was just the moment. I didn't really mean that. And so he's totally confused. And I said the reason being is you went back on your word. And that's what happened. She reached out, and what you really should have done is just said, hey, I'd love to get together, but you're with your boyfriend. So resolve that. And if it doesn't work out, give me a call. I'd love to see you. And you just walk away. But he didn't do that. And so he finally walked away. And so he says, here's his latest email. He says, after about a month and 2 weeks have passed since she and I last spoke, he says, I put my energy into my purpose, studying, working out, reading materials such as your book to improve myself. He says, however, a part of me still thinks of her as I felt I had a connection with her. I mean, you obviously did, but she had a boyfriend. He says, over the past month, she and I have been placed at different hospitals for our medical training, and I feel that my physical absence from her has allowed her to put all the feelings she had for me out of her system. Out of sight, out of mind. It's like, yeah, she wanted to focus on her relationship with her boyfriend, and that was the right thing to do. It's like, you shouldn't be getting involved in that, because you just never know. You never know when the dude's going to flip out and go psycho on you. And my brother had a buddy of his that was hanging out with a chick that had a psycho ex-boyfriend. The dude showed up one night at her apartment as he was bringing her home. The guy blew my brother's friends away, killed him, shot him to death right there. And then he blew his own brains out in front of her. I mean, you just never know, so it's just not a good thing to just mess around with some other dude's chick. He says, I was recently in a coffee shop at a university, and she walked in with her boyfriend. I continued with my work, and I noticed her see me, but she continued with her day with her man. Yeah, obviously he didn't want to have an awkward situation. He says, however, I do feel that if I was in her field of vision more regularly, she would cave and give in to those feelings again as she did before, given that she always had a high interest level in me. And it's like, yeah, and see, now you're trying to rationalize all that stuff because a month's gone by and she stayed with her boyfriend, and you allowed yourself to get hung up on her and hope that something would happen between the two of you, and you haven't been dating other women. And so now you're wanting to once again go compromise your principles and your values, which is you didn't want to screw around with a girl that had a boyfriend. But now it's like you're bullshitting yourself and you're trying to talk yourself into it and you're trying to give yourself excuses, and that's why you're reaching out and you're asking me these things. He says, to make matters more interesting, her boyfriend is now based at the same hospital as me, and we share the same block in the hospital. It's like, oh, that's nice. So Now you're working with her boyfriend. That's got to be awkward. He says, when she said she had more in common with me, she wasn't wrong. I can't help but think she wanted to work things out with him because of guilt. Doesn't really matter. It's not your concern. It's between her and him, not you. She'd rather stick it out than go for what she wants, which was me, and he has a question mark. Well, you always judge a woman by what she does, and obviously something had sucked in her relationship with her boyfriend, and that's what caused her to develop that emotional connection that she had with you. But had her relationship with her boyfriend been healthy, those things wouldn't happen between you and her. He says, I feel that I need to find a way of getting her to see me around our university striving with my purpose without me approaching her, just to see if that would function as a catalyst to get her contacting me again or reconsider her feelings for me versus her boyfriend. It's like, dude, it's like, come on, seriously. So now you're basically, the way you just talked, you're just like, I have to prove myself to her. You don't have to prove jack shit. She's got a boyfriend. She's unavailable. Go date women who are single and available. You've fucking wasted a month and a half of your life waiting for this chick to resolve her relationship with her boyfriend. I mean, the bottom line is that you could have cheated, been the guy that she cheated with, but, I mean, how would you feel if you'd gone ahead and done that and now you're working with her boyfriend? What if you end up liking the guy and hanging out with him? I mean, think about it. It's just, you avoided an awkward situation, and because you would have felt a lot different if you'd have been fucking his girl, I'll tell you that. He says, if she doesn't, then I know she has killed me off in her mind and her heart. If she does contact me, I wouldn't bring up the past, but just act like the guy she found attractive and let her see what she's been missing. I can't believe she'd send me a profound message like she did that a month ago and would allow me to vanish completely. Any advice? Well, I told her this would happen. It's like she's got to be the one that decides to leave the boyfriend. And obviously she wasn't unhappy enough to leave him. She was just looking to hook up and screw around. But you wanted something more than that. And so I know it's tough. I mean, sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get the girl and sometimes you don't. But the reason that you're suffering and this is an issue for you is because you didn't take my advice. You didn't do what I said. You've been sitting around waiting for this girl to break up with him and call you instead of going out and practicing your skills with other women, because now you've missed out on a whole month that you could have gotten better, that you could have been flirting with other women, going out on dates with other women, and not really giving a shit about this girl. But instead, you chose to sit around on your hands and do nothing because that was the easy thing to do. So get off your ass and get out into the world and start meeting some women who are available and go out with some dates, because maybe 6 months from now you hear from this chick. And if you prepare yourself by going after what it is that you want and dating and hooking up with women that are single, you'll probably end up finding somebody better anyways. But even if you don't, this girl calls you out of the blue, guess what? You won't be overwhelmed by your emotions and you'll know how to act properly. Plus, you will have come from a place of integrity, which is not getting involved with a chick that's got a boyfriend. Because I think you also said that she lived with a guy as well. So that would have been a messy situation. You're better off from avoiding it, but you're not doing yourself any favors by staying hung up on her. So if you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max. Just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and then just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, is a box that has a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device already, on the right-hand side, there's a button you can click to download one of their free e-reader apps for your smartphone, tablet device, or your computer. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app and complete the purchase of my book. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters, the articles on my website, and my ebook, you can show your appreciation by going to my website, and on the Wibia toolbar, which will be at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button, and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.